greetings to Gambians, greetings to Africans by extension, wherever you are under the sound of my voice. Today marks another brand new edition of the program called The Conversation that comes away on Symbians, VIP Magazine, VIP TV, here in the Republic of the Gambia. And for today's edition of the conversation, we are in a distance conversation with a young Ghanaian educationalist. She is Miss Ametefe Oberta. Permits me for the pronunciation, possibly I got it wrong or so to speak. She is Miss Ametefe Oberta. She's live from Accra, Ghana, as she is getting prepared to offer her expertise on different areas in her homeland, Ghana, which happens to be one of the nucleuses of all the Pan-African spirits on this continent, under the umbrella of the Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And then those of you that follow us on social media will say thank you so dearly much. Like somebody like a Maslin Mananga, Wasinai Maslin Mananga from Zimbabwe, Nolotando Zanga from South Africa, Alanga from South Africa, and Lily Zaka from the same country, or Jeremy Kidd of Coventry, United Kingdom, Sylvia Grant from the scene, the UK, you have Musa Jeremy, Charles Eze, the Gambian people, the Liberian people. This is the conversation we've been here, Tony Michael Howard. Greetings to you, Miss Oberta, and welcome to this platform, please.
Greetings, Mr. Howard. Thank you very much for hosting me, and thank to your listeners.
Yes, live.
Good evening. Good evening to your listeners.
Okay.
And anyone listening across the globe. Thank you.
That's beautiful. By the way, for purpose of our diverse audience, Michael Howard may have known you from the professional point of view, but tell the audience from Liberia, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and the rest of the continent, here in Gambia, and the rest of all the continent, who is Miss Ametefe Oberta from an academic and a professional point of view.
Miss Ametefe Oberta is an educationalist, as you rightly put it.
Okay.
I'm a primary school teacher.
Okay.
I teach in Basic 3.
Okay.
And currently, I'm pursuing a course in psychological foundations of education. Okay.
That's beautiful. That's the voice of my guest there from Accra, Ghana. We have been disconnected here with her. Let us just see how quickly we can reconnect with our guest here from Accra, Ghana. This is the conversation here on Symbians VIP Magazine, VIP TV. And we are joined with our guest there from Accra, Ghana. She is Ametefe Oberta. Just give us a moment as we try to reconnect with her as she speaks with us on this platform here live from Accra, Ghana right now. And it remains to be Tony Michael Howard, who is tasked with this responsibility of reminding the entire continent on the need for African unity. So we're going to be connecting with her shortly. Permit us. There was a little bit of fault, but we're going to reconnect with her in no time. Shortly, just in a few seconds, we're going to be joining her here. Yes, sorry, Miss Oberta. There was a little bit of technical fault. We reconnected with you shortly. Yeah, you were talking about yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Where you are doing a course in the.
Yes.
Yes.
So as I was saying, I'm a primary school teacher.
Okay.
Pursuing a course in psychological foundations of education, of which French is my major.
Okay.
I'll be graduating hopefully next year, May. I attended Accra College of Education.
Okay.
Where I gained diploma in basic education.
Okay.
And
that's massive on your own part. Coming from an English background in a nation like Ghana, why major in the French?
French is one of the hot cake languages that is required in in most of our aspects in Ghana here. When you go to the ministries, you go to aviation centers, even in education.
Okay.
You need French, some sort of French. So I have interest for French from my youthful days. So I decided to pursue a course in French.
Okay. That's beautiful. For those of you quickly watching us from our East Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, like somebody like a Calvin Swahili, Amara there from the Nairobi, Kenya, and the Palm Chile, I say to you, people, Jumbo Rabariyako. Like the first president of Tanzania says in one of the shortest speeches from an African leader, he says, Jumbo Rabariyako, Kumfutanya Yozangu, that is follow my footsteps. He spoke about follow my footsteps, talks about the Africanization policy of good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. And I say to you people, the East African people say, I say to you, Asante Kupmansara, when you could to see that time for supporting us. That is Asante Kupmansara, when you could to see to the Ghanaian people that say to you, Apo man. Of course, to Yorubas in the Nigeria, Yoruba dominated region of Western Nigeria that say to you, to Eastern Nigeria and Igbo speaking people that say to you, one name the number Ikaraka, Ijie, Mechiku Abiyama, Amama Amasi Oshimidi Atata Eku, me Chuko Kike. Odoku Akataka, strengthening all of you wherever you are under the sound of my voice to the northern part of the country that is dominantly Islamic, and I say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, to the Hausa people of the same northern part of the country that say to you, Sanu, do to the Sierra Leone people in the Mende that say to you, Bieluve, Kawena to you people on the other hand, I say to you, Kai Gorma here, that I'm fine here in the Gambia. To the Aku speaking people that say to you, Unakushio to you there in Freetown, to the Kono speaking people that say diamond mining region of that country that say to you, Wente. To my own Liberian people in the Pela language, and I say to you, Liberia, we all are one. Of course, so French-speaking nations of the continent, I say to you, merci, donnez-vous. To the Gambians and Mandinka, I say to you, I say to you, and then I say to the world of Asenangadef, I say Naka Goody. Domana Fati, Domala Musafati, say Adonabi, and I say to you, Ndinyanelana Duniato in Mantinga, I say to the full, I say, Hide Jamasude, Nalaga, Jamton, I say, me, Edima, Moja, that love is so dear much. This is the conversation here on Symbians VIP Magazine, VIP TV. And I remain Tony Michael Howe, who takes the responsibility of inspiring and motivating the current generation of young Africans in the actualization of their respective dreams and preaching the message of peace and national unity, as well as revitalizing the Africanization policy that speaks about good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. That is the reason why we are connected from here in Gambia, live in Accra, Ghana, to talk with a young educationalist, Ametefe Oberta Miss. Quickly tell us, since the emergence of the COVID-19 that has slapped and continues to slap and rip the faces of nations, both in terms of our already dilapidating economies and then the loss of lives, how is the state of affairs? What is the state of affairs in Ghana?
Since the emergence of the COVID-19, Ghana has been under lockdown 3 weeks. Okay. The president of the state came out on 28th of March to declare a lockdown for 30 weeks that kicked off from 30th of March, and then for only two cities at the time. It was for only Accra and Kumasi, and then it was extended after the 2 weeks. It was extended for additional 1 more week. After that, he came out again during his 7th address, nation's address, that there will be a lift. So the lockdown was lifted after the 3rd week of his message. Okay. Since then, things are gradually coming back to normal. There's not much going on apart from the insistence on using of masks and following the protocols of preventive measures for the COVID, washing of hands, staying away from crowd and others. Yeah, but life is gradually coming back in the city centers.
Okay, that's beautiful to hear from our guest, Miss Ametefi Oberton, live from Accra, Ghana. She speaks on the platform, The Conversation on Symbiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV. Permits me to speak to those from more South Africa, especially those from more Pietersburg in the KwaZulu-Natal province. I say to you in the KwaZulu language, I say to you, Sanibunani Zanzi, Geya Nembengelela. Some of the girl Nulutando Langa. And Lele Zaka, dear, Mighty dear from South Africa, and some of the girl Tokoziri Sewela Nilmayu of the African Youth Parliament. Greetings and huge salute to all of you over there. Yes, you've spoken about how the Ghana has been hating all of you. Or to what extent has this virus actually hit your own homeland?
Initially, it wasn't easy. So far, we still have some active cases. We have about 1,949 active cases. Confirmed cases so far, we had 42,993. Out of this 42,000, there had been 40,796 recoveries as of this week. And then so far, fatalities or death, we had 248. That's, I think, how bad things have been for us as Ghanaians.
Yes, comparing Ghana with a nation like Gambia that is almost 2,000 cases, and Ghana having similar number of cases, so to speak. What have been the mechanism national government has put in place under His Excellency Adu has put in place to ensure that this virus is curtailed in Ghana? What are those mechanisms he puts in place as a leader?
Okay, I think this has to do with individual perspective.
Okay.
For some school of thought, they will say that the president has done massively. He has been able to create over 350,000 jobs for the public and the private sector. And then he has also eased congestion in driver's licensing centers, and then maybe passport centers by digitalizing everything. And then some will also say that there has been massive increase in agricultural growth. So for those people, it could be a safe haven for them.
Okay.
But for other school of thought, they may also, considering the large size of the president's ministers, the previous government had about 84 ministers, and then the current Nanado government has about 125 ministers. These ministers and their deputies have to be paid with the taxpayers' money, and this is not it's not small money. So you could see that clearly this has to do with individual perspective. Some will say he's a safe haven because he has done this for them. They've seen the progress. Some also say comparing the previous government, they'll rather applaud the previous president. So to me, I would say it's individual perspective.
Okay, that's very beautiful. That's a very, very honest response from you. Clever, based on the analysis right now, from a percentage point of view, what description would you accord to the current leadership? Would you describe it as a masses-friendly leadership or an anti-masses leadership? How does the current leadership influence or positively affect the crying, the yearnings and aspirations of the Ghanaian people?
Well, I would say that the current president do feel the pains of many Ghanaians, because even during this COVID period, there has been free water for almost 3 months. Free water, no bill. Then there was light free for some time. So I would say he does feel for the average Ghanaian, and there has been reduction and so many things. They try their best to maintain the inflation rates going high. So I would say he does feel for the average Ghanaian.
So from your arguments right now, am I going to be correct if I describe his leadership as a masses-friendly leadership to a huge extent?
Well, to some extent.
Okay.
To some extent, yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful to hear from my guest.
Yeah.
That's beautiful to hear from my guest, young, intelligent Miss Ametefe Oberta, being featured here on the conversation here on Symbion's VIP Magazine, VIP TV here in the Gambia. This is a platform that is meant to reconnect the entire continent by speaking on social, moral, economic, and political issues affecting our one continent and finding some of the best ways forward to ameliorating these challenges, or should I say concerns. So she's talking to us this evening live from her homeland in Accra, Ghana. So based on your analysis right now, Ms. Oberta, if you were to do a comparative analysis of the previous government with that of the current, which of these two leadership do you think deserves the zenith of salute for its performance so far?
I think that is personal, but I would say the current sitting government is really doing a lot, and especially when you consider the agricultural sector. They've done so much. They've done so much that they need to be applauded for. And for me personally, I would say the sitting government.
Okay.
I may not be able to mention, give you a list of things that are prompting me to say this, but for me, I know it is this current government.
Okay.
Even though the size of the government is huge, but they're doing their best in every way to.
You can listen to the sound, should I say, very intelligent voice of a young Ghanaian educationalist, Ms. Ametefe Oberta, live from Accra, Ghana. She speaks on this platform here. The conversation with remains a very pan-African platform that is meant to reconnect the entire continent. She sounds very, very intelligent. Those following us on our social media will say a very huge salute to you wherever you are under the sound of my voice in the Gambian language. I say jirejif, that is thank you so very much. Or quickly, Ametefe, Ghana remains one of the few least corrupt nations on the continent. Even at that, annually, your nation loses 3.5 billion to corruption, according to Ghana Integrity Initiative, which happens to be a sister umbrella to Transparency International. My question to you is, to what extent is this information true?
Well, corruption has really eaten deep into the fabrics of almost every country, and Ghana is not an exemption.
Okay.
And its effects are massive. You know, because it's the taxpayers' money that at the end of the day is wasted. So you know, some of this, when it comes to corruption, I would say it has affected business in so many ways, in such that even honest people who are really honest and can get government contracts are denied this access to contracts. And then there's loss of goods and then services due to corruption. And as I said earlier on, is the taxpayers' money that is wasted in this kind of fund. So corruption in general, it's really bringing down, degrading our society in so many ways. Because it's not just at the top; it's coming from the bottom, the grassroots. You know, almost every sector that you find yourself, there is some sort of corruption going on there.
Okay. That's beautiful to hear from you, Miss Amit Obieta. Just in case you're joining us right now, this is the conversation here on Symbiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV. Quickly, your president, since he came to power, he's had several travels in different nations of the world where he's spoken about the need for Africa being for Africans and the essence of all Africans enjoying the national cakes in their respective nations. Now, nationally in Ghana, how has the level of inclusiveness been on the part of the president to practicalize the theory that he speaks on the international scene? I'm trying to say, how has he been able to involve the members of opposition political parties in his government to manifest the essence of inclusiveness of Ghanaians in his current leadership based on the merits process? What can you say about that?
Well, I would say that when we're talking of Ghana or Ghanaians, there is we don't talk of politics. It's everyone involved, and the president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, has been very clear about that. He encourages us to always, come together. When it comes to issues of being a Ghanaian, there is no political party. Recently, I think on 17th of this month, Monday, he commissioned a well-finished building for African Continental Free Trade Area that will enable us to trade among ourselves on the African continent. For him, his priority is for us to reduce our dependency on the Western world. So he's been very clear on everything African. So even during his most of his appearances for the nation's address, everything is African. His outfit is African. He when it comes to our food, he's always encouraging us to condone the African food. Everything Ghanaian. Yes. So he's doing well when it comes to the Pan-Africanism. He's not just when he's talking out there, but also in the country. He promotes Pan-Africanism.
Okay, that's great, dear, from the leadership of Ghana. Quickly, your nation, Ghana, during the time of the Osagyefo for Kwame Nkrumah, one of the 32 African leaders that sat in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in 1963, and spoke about not only the independence and liberty of their respective nations, but the security, the survival, the independence and security and survival for the rest of the continent. He happens to be one of the key nucleuses, if not the main nucleus of all the liberty of this continent. We're talking about 1963 to 2020. That's 57 years since that meeting in Addis Ababa. So after 57 years, what have been the works of Ghanaians? How have they been able to catalyze that spirit of the Africanization policy, forgetting the leadership role of the individual president, but with the down to the masses individual? How have they been able to catalyze the Africanization policy in terms of being warmly hospitable to other non-Ghanaians in your homeland?
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
anyone who visits Ghana can testify to the fact that Ghanaians are warm, they are receptive, they're hospitable. You know? Because of the way we relate to strangers. You know, when we see people that are from other countries, maybe the only difference will be the language. But even as that, we do relate to them so well. Whatever help they need, we try to help them, you know, sort them out. So Ghana has been rated one of the friendliest countries in the world in 2011 according to Forbes magazine.
Okay.
So from there, you can see Ghana is just as the name is renowned around Africa as one of the hospitable countries. It still is one of the hospitable countries.
Are you saying in essence that if Michael Howard arrives at the Kotoka International Airport tonight and he did not have cash on him for the hotel room and he was not lucky to meet some Liberians who understand his language, even though he speaks English, and he met some Ghanaians, and he's going to sleep in a house that he's not going to pay for, he's going to eat food that he's not going to pay for, he's going to be treated with peace and security?
Definitely. You will definitely find somewhere to sleep, whether you're having money on you or not.
Ametefe, based on your answer, after this interview, I'm going to get on a flight and be in Accra, Ghana, and I'm very confident I should go in some other town. Can I be on my way?
Please do come. You'll be surprised.
Thank you very much. The Africans, previous leadership of the Osagie Futon Kwame Nkrumah, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere of Tanzania, Nandi Azikiwe of Nigeria, William Bakanara Shabda Tono of Liberia, the late Sir Dawda Karabajara of the Gambia, who just we just lost him, his soul, and the souls of all faithful departed rest in perfect peace. All of these people fought for the liberty of this continent, but regrettably, the current generation of our young Africans have done little or nothing to catalyze that very beautiful energy that speaks about the African unity. I want you to first use your native dialect in Ghana, whoever understands it, to speak to Ghanaians in 1 minute on the essence of maintaining what I call national unity and peace and prosperity in spite of their political differences or cultural or regional differences. 1 minute you have to speak to Ghanaians in your language. It starts right now.
Okay, so I'll speak ever. Let me pour a voice no mia pen go beto pe e ko do pis no na mia elbe mia le domani no da si be mia wo de ka wo e yenye no nwe ava wo pe to ma kata me be mia wa ava because ava le wa me kana no nwe ade ka vena medeko ta le gbonela met de kukuna amesiama be election ya edo nya edo ni de kuku be amesiama na wo election ele untifa farme akpena mi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I want you to replicate this same message to the rest of the continent, that in spite of all our different borders discrepancy, our religious discrepancy, our cultural difference, this is one Africa. This is the only continent that we cannot be deported from. So be a Ghanaian or Nigerian or Senegalese or Syrian or wherever you are, we must maintain the spirits of the African unity that was agitated by Samadaga Kwame Nkrumah. Speak to the rest of the continent in maintenance of the peace and stability in terms of all African unity. 30 seconds, it starts.
Africans, we are one people. No matter where we are, we identified as Africans. If you go to the Western world, they will not call you by your country. They will call you an African because that is who you are. So